Hey guys, well, it's another week of hobby. So, yeah, sort of the beginning of the week, I've been getting into some things, doing a little bit of 3D printing for a friend, and yeah, finishing off some projects, and yeah, just getting into it really, and back into the hobby for the new week. I always like to start off strong, and it usually fails somewhere in the middle, but hopefully it'll stay good this week. So yeah, the big thing is I finished Sepsimus here, the tutorial I've been doing on YouTube now for a little bit. The last, I guess, it's really cool. It finished on 7 parts, which is awesome. So he's the sacred number. Yeah, I'm really happy. So this came out super cool. Yeah, went through a lot of techniques, a lot of stuff, and yeah, all together, it's just yeah, a fun project. So yeah, he's all done now. By the time this video comes out, yesterday the part 7 should have released, so you can go and check that out and see how it all came out. But yeah, there's like, I don't know, these tutorial videos I'm doing seem to have, it's what, between like 30 and 40 minutes a week for like, yeah, it's looking like about 6 to 7 weeks. So you're getting like a lot of content, and there's a lot. If you were to go and play it in the playlist there, in the in the tutorial playlist, you're gonna be watching that for a while, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, it's the way I wanted to do it. I know it doesn't work very good for YouTube, and it's not going to be like the super popular one or whatever. I'm not doing any like crazy like video stuff or whatever, or scripted things or that sort of stuff. But just in terms of information and content, there's a lot in there. So for those that want something, I guess, in the background while they're doing their hobby work, or just listening to someone speak on a topic, I feel like it's pretty good, because that's often what I do. Like, I use YouTube like that. Like, I'll pick a channel that I like, and I often like those longer format kind of, I guess, more information dense or topical kind of videos, because they're really cool. Just like listening to the radio basically, and just having someone waffle on about a topic, just like I'm doing now, and you just have that in the background, and while you're working, and then you might hear something that you like and have a little look and see what's going on, and then enjoy that, and then go back to whatever you're doing. And I find that tends to be what I like best about YouTube and video content. So rather than the sort of more, I guess, higher made or more well executed, I suppose, videos, but they're often very short. They're beautiful, but they're very short, and so they're done in like 10 minutes, and for me, I like to leave something on for a while and then do other things. So yeah, I don't know, but I'm still going to do them, I think, because I think they have value anyway. So that's where that's at. So having said that segues nicely into what the next one will be. So now that Sepsimus is finished, I figure I'll finish off the third one in that little kit. So this is I don't know what her name is, but yeah, just like a Black King sorceress of some sort. So that's going to be cool. Or that's what I'm going to use her for, like a sort of like a magic user for the army. So yeah, this will be fun. So I think for this one, what we'll be focusing on is, I guess, the cloak is such a big part of this model, so I'll think of something interesting to do with the cloak, and that'll be the focus for this model. And yeah, and that'll probably go for most likely 6 or 7 weeks, I guess, as we do each section of the model. But yeah, there's such a cool little things on this, like the little guy here. He'll be fun. I'll think of something fun to do with the color scheme for that. And there's all kinds of interesting details on this. The Black King's range, and just all the Nurgle models in general in both 40k and fantasy, are so good. There's just so much you can do on them. But anyway, so that's fun. And then what else? Oh, I also did a quick tips, like hobby tips video for painting this sort of glazing in brass. So the one you saw last week, the Stormcast that I did, I've now done a short video on it, just to show you how to. It'll be up there by now, so if you have a look on the channel, in fact, if I'm really good, I can link that now. If I'm super cool, it'll be up in the right hand corner there, and you can go ahead and have a look at that, because that should be out by the time this video comes out. So yeah, I just went through the glazing process. If you've seen any of the other tutorials, I'm into this glazing stuff, and yeah, I think it comes out really cool. So just really fast, easy to do for like a a gaming standard army, and you can get it done. And play your games with painted models. So that's up, and then I'll eventually, once AOS 3 releases and the new Stormcast release, I'll do like a full tutorial on one of the new models and go through and like paint the whole thing from start to finish, just like one of these tutorials, and do the long format one. So that'll be cool too. And then finally I managed to get this big guy underway. So the armor's all been done and had its glazing, and I started on the cape here. Got some nice smooth bone tones on that cape. I don't want to wreck it, so I don't know if I'm going to end up putting like stains and stuff in it, because I love how smooth it is. It's a bit hard to see on this camera, but if you were to see it in the flesh, it's so bright and smooth and bony. It's just yeah, it's pretty cool. I'll probably just put like a little bit of shadowing or staining on it, but like not too much. Sometimes like white and cream colors are so hard to do that when you get it right and it's really, really good and smooth, it's really awesome. But I can't bring myself to stain it up. But anyway, he'll just be the envy of all the other Death Guard with the cleanest cape around. But yeah, I'm pretty happy I've managed to get a good headway on this, so he shouldn't take too much longer. I don't think I'll finish him this week, but I would imagine sometime next week we'll get this done, and that'll complete all my HQs for my current list for the Death Guard. And we might do a little, if I do get it done, I'll like do a bit of an update, and I'll get all the Death Guard out on the list and have a bit of a chat about it, because I'm hoping to get a game in soon with them, so I can see how that runs. Yeah, I've got some ideas, but I think it should be pretty cool. And then I've got my, patiently waiting Space Marines here that are going to get some work on hopefully this week. They're kind of like the in-between projects, so while I do these and other stuff, I'll then dabble at some of those, because they're so quick to do, like really easy. It's only a little bit of glazing and some little details on the helmets and the Aquila. That's about it. Very fast compared to some of this stuff. They're definitely a lot quicker, and I like it. It's a nice relaxing thing. It's something that I definitely recommend if you're struggling to keep momentum. It's good to have like varying projects that are both long format ones that take ages to do, and then some that are really short. I've talked about this concept before in my hobby talks and stuff like that, but I think it's really crucial. It helps keep you motivated. It keeps me motivated for sure, because there's so much difference. Painting this is different from painting that, and so on and so on. So you get that variety in there, and that's really key to keep him up there with your hobby. It just makes you happier generally, I think. So yeah, that's where I'm at for the moment. I would have released, this week you would have seen the hobby news there, where I had a look at the new Dominion box. I think it's pretty cool. I'll try to pick up a box. I'm not sure how easy that's going to be, as it's like all things with these new stuff now, it seems to be selling out so fast. But I will try to pick one up, hopefully, as long as it's not too expensive, because the Indominus one was a really good, for 40k, it was a really good deal. But I get this strange feeling that the next one's not going to be such a good deal, but we'll see. Maybe it will, but yeah, that'll be fun, because all the models in there look pretty cool, and they'll be great to do some different types of techniques on them and muck around. And obviously the Stormcast will come up really nice with this color scheme. But even the Orcs, they're pretty cool. They're not exactly my flavor, but I know a lot of people are excited about them, and it does give you a difference. Something a bit more serious for an Orc. It's not there's not as much humor in them. You know what I mean? They're a bit more kind of on the serious side, which is nice. Just gives you a difference and something. If you want to do that more serious dark Orc, you can do those. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, let's see how the rest of the week goes. Hopefully, I've got more to show you. At the very least, I'll have a little bit more done on the Lord of Contagion here, and maybe something else. We'll see. All right, I'll see you soon. Hey guys, alright, so it's later in the week now, and looks like I'm going to have to cut this one a little short, so there's not much hobby going on, unfortunately, because the weekend's going to be pretty full with work and stuff. So yeah, one of those little things. But I did manage to get some sculpting done, which is pretty cool, and I'll be releasing my first series of, I guess, Blight of Gods related, my brand related behind the scenes vlog. So rather than put the I guess that stuff into this one, which is more dedicated to Warhammer and stuff like that. I'll do my other one as a separate like series, and that'll be coming out on Tuesday. So if you're interested in like how to build your own, I guess, brand or characters or world building, or just generally the process of making games and sculpting characters and 3D printing and doing all those types of things that are in the hobby that are around what we do, building models and so on. If you're into that kind of stuff, check that out. That'll be coming out on Tuesday, so I'll do that weekly as well and just bring you in. And so at the moment I'm doing a ton of sculpting for my next card deck for the game, and so it's going to be a lot of me sculpting and just chatting while I do it. So I'll pick a topic and just have a bit of a chat. So the first one that's coming up is sort of just, I guess, giving a bit of background on how the brand came about and up until this point and where I'm at and all that. So just like a nice little topical chat on different creative topics. So I think that'll be pretty cool and a little different from the hobby chats, like the in the hobby stuff that I do, the other ones in the middle of the week where we sort of have more specific hobby related conversations. So yeah, I think that'll be pretty cool. But that's what I did this week, and it'll give me a chance to sort of show some of the sculpts as well, and just basically have a bit of a chance to go through all that, because that's all pretty cool stuff. But in terms of hobby, so back to the hobby again, I did manage to get a little bit more done on him, but not much. So I just got a bit of those horns done with the bone, which came up pretty cool. And I will get a bit more done on him on the weekend, but I just won't be able to record it for this. But you'll see it in the next week's one anyway. And then, as I said before, this will be coming up. So next week I'll be starting the tutorial for this one. So it'll be the Saturday tutorial. And I'm still thinking about what to do for it, but I think we might be doing, I don't know yet, maybe some wet blending for the robes. I don't know, I'm going to think of a cool color for this to do something interesting for this one, just to make it fun. So we'll see what happens, but I got a couple of days to think about that yet, so that's pretty cool. But otherwise, I think that's probably about it. I'm still gearing up to try to get a game in against one of my friends. He plays guard. And sorry, I think I just knocked that. So I've been 3D printing some of these. So if that gets in focus, possibly, there we go. And they came out really cool. So that's on the Frozen 4K Mighty. And I'm printing a bunch of these for him. So he's using these as, he does Krieg, so he's using these as the Ogrins. So that's just one of those Patreons. I don't know which one it is, but I've started printing some of these for him so we can have a go at it. And that should be pretty cool. So, because he struggles against my Death Guard when I get close, because obviously Death Guard just mints through Guardsmen, especially with the new rules with lowering their toughness. It makes it pretty easy for me. So he needs some tougher units to go up against it. So I'm hopefully going to be running this new idea for my list with the Death Shroud and everything. Previous talks I've talked about that if you want to go back and check it, but I'll chat about more once we get closer to it. But it'll be fun to try it out. And now I've just seen in the FAQ there's been some changes, a lot of changes for 40k, and a lot to do with movement. So Death Guard can now move freely through terrain. Anything that affects their movement, now they negate it, because the way their rule is written and the way they've updated the rules in the FAQ. So that's really awesome. That means they're always moving their 5 inches and they don't get stopped. Also, if psychic powers attack them and stuff like that, anything that affects their movement, they'll ignore it. So that's really, really good. And then the other change is Typhus has become a little bit more usable in detachments as well. They just altered some of the description for his Herald of Nurgle rule. So I'm still taking him anyway, but I think it makes him a bit more flexible in other lists. So that's pretty cool, right? That's not too bad. So there's a few big changes there, I think, for Soup lists for Chaos as well. They changed warp time, so that means that it's now Legion specific, so you can't just soup in a Tzeentch sorcerer and get him to double move everything around the board and all that kind of jazz. Those kind of lists are gone, which is fine by me. I prefer the mono list style that they're moving towards. I think that's way more in flavor and theme with 40k and with the background, like to pick a faction and try to work within it, and it's more challenging as well. So you have to find the juice. You got to find the cool things in the list. That's part of the fun of it, right? And so I think all of those change pretty good. They've done a whole bunch of stuff. I think Tau get to now they made a shift in the rules which allowed, or in their rules which allowed them to now fall back and shoot and stuff. So it means that they don't get tied up in combat. So I think they didn't have that before. So that means their special rule that they get army-wide now works, and they can fall back and shoot and do all their kind of shenanigans. So that's pretty cool for them too, because they're pretty much suffering, at least until their codex comes anyway. So yeah, there's a few cool things that happened this week. I'll try to pick up on some of that maybe for the my news segment next week, but we'll see what comes out. But there are some good stuff. So if you're playing 40k and you want to check that out, just go to the FAQ section on the Warhammer community website, and you'll see it all there. There's a lot to go through. There's a fair amount. So yeah, all pretty cool stuff. But otherwise, in terms of this will probably be it for this week. And as I said, yeah, the work's taking over. So, but I did manage to get a few things done, so I'm pretty happy with that. I hope everyone out there is getting a little bit done too, even if it's only a little bit, like a couple of horns. It's better than nothing, right? You just keep at it, keep chipping away, and before you know it, everything gets painted. And that's part of the I guess the way to succeed at this. Always having something on the go is the way to do it, and not allowing it to get pushed to the side. But anyway, yeah, I hope everyone's having a good day. Thanks for watching. Please hit that like button, subscribe button, all that kind of stuff. If you like this, it really helps me out. But otherwise, I guess have a great day, and I'll catch you on the next one.